Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to Taraweeh Reminder, day 15. We were talking yesterday about 3 come before 8. Do you still remember that? Who are the 3? Allah, His Messenger, and jihadin fi sabilih. Come before 8. Who are the 8? Those 3 first, they constitute what? The akhirah, the eternal, the real life. But the 8, aba'ukum, your parents, wa abna'ukum, your children, wa ikhwanukum, your siblings, wa azwajukum, your spouses, wa ashiratukum, meaning your folks, your kindred, your kinship, wa amwalun iqtaraftumuha, wealth, property you have been accumulating, wa tijaratun takhshawna kasadaha, a business that you fear decline in, wa masakin tardawnaha, houses where you feel happy when you're living in these houses. What do they constitute? The dunya, which is temporary and ending. So, I promised you last night we're going to be talking about how the Sahaba interacted with this ayah. How they made the Quran a way of life. Because the Quran to us as Muslims is a comprehensive way of life. It covers every aspect of life. So let's take the first one. قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ. We said there is a conditional if and there is a result. So the conditional if is if, number 1, your parents, and then if we fast forward, we're going to say more beloved to your heart. If your parents are more beloved to your heart than Allah, His Messenger, and jihadin fi sabil. Now, let's see the Sahaba. Who was more beloved to their hearts? During the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and during the battle of Badr, after the battle was over, the son of Abu Bakr radiallahu anh came to him. He said, Dad? He said, yes. He said, I used to see you in the battle because he was fighting with the disbelievers. He said, and I used to avoid you because I didn't want to kill you. You know what Abu Bakr said to him? He said, Wallahi, if I saw you, I would have done it. Why? Imagine now the son is fighting his dad because he says, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. And it was the mushrikeen who are coming to attack the Muslims. So he said, in defense of myself, if I have seen you, I would have done it because Allah is more important to me than you. If you choose that. Subhanallah. That's an example. Another example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the second one, He said, وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ. So this is the example of أَبْنَاؤُكُمْ, sorry, the one that I gave you now. Like how Abu Bakr felt towards his son. But آبَاؤُكُمْ, let me give you one example. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu, one of the 10 promised Jannah while they were still walking on earth. He accepted Islam. And when his mom knew about that, she got so upset. And by the way, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas is the uncle of the Prophet. Like the maternal, not the paternal, the maternal uncle. So when his mother knew about this, she told him, listen, if you don't stop and come back and believe and submit to the idols that we worship, I will do 2 things. I'll go on strike, I'm not going to eat. And I will never take a bath until I die. And all the Arabs will blame you for my death. You will live with this disgrace for the rest of your life. So he went to the Prophet ﷺ and said, Prophet of Allah, I love my mom. But I love Allah. He said, then you have to make a decision. Who is more beloved? And that was the decision. He went back to his mom. He said, Ummah, Mom, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِي, by the one in whose hand is my soul, لو أن لك 100 نفس خرجت أمامي نفسا على أن أترك هذا الدين ما تركته. If you have 100 souls and I've seen you dying 100 times in front of me, I would never leave Islam. So his mom started eating. This is how Allah was more beloved to their hearts. Subhanallah. Let's move to the third one. وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ, and your siblings, your brothers and sisters. After the battle of Badr again, Mus'ab ibn Umair radiallahu anhu, one of the great Sahaba who died later on in the Battle of Uhud. He saw his brother, and his brother was taken as a prisoner of war in the Battle of Badr. His name was Aziz. So when Aziz saw Mus'ab, he got so excited because he was a prisoner of war. He was like put in fetters and shackles. He said, Mus'ab, Akhi. It's like, Mus'ab, my brother. He said, Lasta Akhi. He said, no, you're not my brother. The one standing next to you, who's putting you in shackles, he's my brother. So as if he's telling him, brotherhood in faith is more important than brotherhood in blood. So you choose not to submit to God, you're not my brother. And look at this. He looked at the Sahabi who was, holding him in captivity. He said, listen, اجدد وثاقة. Make sure that he's fastened well because he's a troublemaker. وغالي عليه في الفداء فإن له أما غنية تدفع. And when you ask for ransom, ask for lots of money because his mother is very rich. She will pay. Subhanallah. Who's his mother? It's his mother. You see, because Allah was more important to them. Allah was more beloved to them than their own siblings. Subhanallah. And moving on, وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ, like your spouses. Hanzala radiallahu anhu, he has the title of غسيل الملائكة. This Sahabi, his body was washed by the angels. Why? Because on the night of his wedding, can you imagine? And he had intimacy with his wife, and he heard حَيَّ عَلَى الْكِفَاحِ, come to struggle for the sake of Allah. He left without taking a shower. And subhanallah, he died in the battle. He died in the battle. And subhanallah, when he died in the battle, the Prophet ﷺ was walking in the funeral. And he was walking on the tip of his toes. And they said, Prophet of Allah, why are you walking like this? He said, there is no single space because the angels are everywhere. They're coming to attend the funeral of Hanzala. And his body was washed by the angels. Why? Look at the sacrifice. He's newly married. But when he was asked to give his soul for the sake of Allah, he rushed right away. This is how they applied the Islam in their life. Now, وَأَمْوَالُنَا اقْتَرَفْتُمُوهَا. I'm going to go back, inshallah, tomorrow to talk about, وَعَشِيرَتُكُمْ. But I'll conclude with this one. One of the great Sahaba, his name is Suhaib al-Rumi. Suhaib, the Roman. He came to Mecca and he accepted Islam, and he used to work as a blacksmith. And he was tortured so much when he accepted Islam. But then after that, he made some money. And when the time for immigration came, and he was trying to immigrate from Mecca to Medina to join the Prophet ﷺ, they caught him at the outskirts of Mecca. They said, where are you going? He said, I'm immigrating. I'm leaving the country for you. They said, no, you have to choose between your faith or your money. You came here yesterday, you were nothing, you had nothing. Now you made money and you want to take your money and your faith and go to Medina, you have to choose. Now, if you were in the shoes of Mus'ab ibn Umair, what would you do? You've been working hard for years and you made some wealth, and now you have to choose. You stay with your wealth in Mecca or you immigrate to Medina with your faith. What would you do? Would you like to know what Suhaib radiallahu anhu did? I wish I could, but my time is over. So inshallah, tomorrow we'll continue the story, and we'll also continue stories of other Sahaba who fulfill this ayah, so that we might start thinking, how could Islam, how could the Quran be our way of life in all of its aspects? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst those who listen to the speech and follow the best of it. Don't forget, sadaqah for your masjid and sadaqah for me, which is a smile. Tomorrow, inshallah, we have the halaqa at 5 p.m. of beautiful patients, Tafsir Surah Yusuf, and I'll see you also, inshallah, in the Taraweeh Reminder. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That 10 minutes goes very fast.
Huh?